All right, science folks, let's take a look at how we can explain a graph. Why do we want to do this? Graphs are really quick, really easy way to show what our data is saying, all right? However, if you just show someone your graph and then you don't explain it, the issue is that you are telling them, why don't you figure this out? And that's kind of a jerk move, all right? We can show our data and we can keep it really simple in order to explain it. So let's take a look at how we can do that. All right, graph basics. Why did I put that under the numbers? That's not really where it goes. I just want to make these axes. A lot of times we'll get our graph paper and it's got that on there. And so to review, the one at the bottom is the x-axis. And the one that goes up and down is the y-axis. Okay? Quick review there. You've seen that. Now I also want to know what happens as I go left to right on the x-axis. Okay? I see that my numbers are increasing. That's usually the case, but we always want to check it. All right? Always want to check it that the numbers are increasing because you never know. Somebody could have a weird setup. Okay? And then we look at what's happening with our y-axis. Okay? As we go up, the numbers are increasing there as well. And so what does that mean? Well, that means that on our graph, let's go ahead and look at the shape of some lines. Okay? If we have a line that does what our graph is doing, we could also have a graph that's doing the opposite. Or we could have a graph that's doing like a flat line. So, what does that mean? This one, as our graph goes on, whatever we're looking at is increasing. For this one, as our graph goes on, whatever we're looking at is decreasing. And then the third one, whatever happens to our graph, well, it's staying the same. Okay, so it increase, decrease, or stays the same. And so that's going to play into what we're going to use for our example here. Okay. Now I'm going to do some highlighting. Okay. We've got a sentence starter here, and it's pretty easy, but there's a lot of information that we need to fill in, these brackets. As the x-axis changes, the y-axis changes. Okay, so the x-axis, in this case, is going to be the age in months. And the y-axis is going to be the weight. All right. I wanted to highlight that because now we can fill stuff in to our example. All right. What do we got? As the, let's see, the x-axis is the age. Age of a baby increases. And I'm going to add baby in there because the age in months, 2, 4, 6, 8, that's baby, right? As the age of a baby increases. So I'm adding a little bit of detail in there that's not on the graph. That helps the viewer. As the age of a baby increases, the weight of the baby will increase. Now if you're sitting there saying, Mr. Harris, duh. Yeah, I'm using an example that is pretty simple, that we know, okay? The baby gets older, the weight will increase. That's what we do every time. Look at what we have on the x, look at what we have on the y, and then think about what is happening with our line, with our data, okay? And then we can have a simple explanation. Keep it simple, all right? If you want to elaborate a little bit, that's fine, but remember, sometimes we can do that in our sentences that we're using for our evidence, and we don't need to include it for our explanation on the graph, okay? This is a nice, simple, very straightforward caption that describes our graph. All right, give it a try and let me know if you have any questions about this.